You're watching 11 Alive Morning News. 11 minutes of nonstop news starts now.
It is 6:46 and we are kicking off your 11 minutes of nonstop news on your Friday morning.
Nothing but your top headlines, weather and traffic for the next 11 minutes here on 11 Alive. President Biden tackling many hot button issues during the State of the Union address last night. Details from his remarks.
Metro Atlanta VA nurses plan to protest today. We'll explain why they are upset.
You're going to need to be weather aware today. We're expecting some heavy rain to push into the area later on tonight. Could be a couple thunderstorms. We're talking about flooding and the possibility for severe weather. It's all coming up.
We are shut down in Johns Creek Medlot Bridge at State Bridge. The entire intersection closed. You're going to need two separate alternates, and I know them both.
We kick off your 11 minutes of nonstop news with the standout moments from President Biden's State of the Union address.
He touched on the economy, reproductive rights, funding for the war in Ukraine, and the future of the Israel-Hamas conflict, and the issue that's been getting much of the focus, the southern border.
I will not demonize immigrants saying they are poison in the blood of our country. I will not separate families. I will not ban people because of their faith.
In the Republican response, Alabama Senator Katie Britt calling the issues at the border a disgrace.
But minutes after taking office, he suspended all deportations, he halted construction of the border wall, and he announced a plan to give amnesty to millions. We know that President Biden didn't just create this border crisis. He invited it.
Part of that discussion around the border stems from the Laken Riley case after her murder on the UGA campus.
Authorities say the man suspected of killing her is undocumented. 11 Alive's Ariana Manise joins us now with more on that. Ariana.
Good morning, Cheryl and Aisha. The name of 22-year-old Laken Riley echoed through Capitol Hill as President Biden called out her name as he did his State of the Union address to Congress. Now the president, he called out her name as he held up a pen with her name on it that was handed to him by Georgia Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene as he made his way to the podium. Now her murder continues to be a focal point, a political debate over border security and immigration as her accused killer was previously arrested for entering the U.S. unlawfully. House Republicans, they have long blamed the Biden administration for what they call a crisis at the border. We also heard Greene shout Riley's name at the president as he delivered his remarks. Take a listen.
Laken Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand.
Biden's address comes on the same day that the House, they passed legislation named after Laken Riley. It was introduced by Georgia Republican Representative Mike Collins that will require police to report to DHS, to ISIS, anyone that was arrested for burglary. Now, this bill must go over to the Senate, but at this point, it's unclear if the Senate will pass this legislation. Back to you.
Ariana, thank you. And tomorrow, Georgia will be the stop on the campaign trail for both candidates. President Biden will be in Metro Atlanta for events. We're waiting on specific locations. Former President Donald Trump will have campaign events in Rome. These visits come ahead of our presidential primary on Tuesday.
And that was a look at your top headlines, getting you outside with a beautiful start to the day. Chelsea, that sky behind you.
Yeah, it's starting to lighten up a little bit, but it's not going to sun up. Let's put it that way. We have the clouds in place. It's going to remain cloudy for much of the day today. There may be an isolated sprinkle or two. I wanted to show you this particular camera over our Midtown area because you see that little speck right there? Yeah, we've seen a few drops out there. We had, it looked like some heavy rain on the radar, but really just a few dots on your windshield. That's about what you're going to experience. There it is right there. See that darker green sliding right on through there? Yeah. A couple dots on your windshield. That's about it. That's all you're going to see out of this. Where you get up to Roswell northward, we haven't seen any reports of any rain at all. Over to the Sandy Springs area right now, you may be getting a little bit of drizzle as well, but this is how it's going to be for much of the day. We're going to see the clouds. Clouds will stay in place, and most of us will stay under cloudy skies. It's that light rain or light precipitation that will fall isolated throughout the area through the day. That heavy rain doesn't get in here until later on tonight. Temperatures are in the 50s for the most part. Starting off this morning, got a couple 60s sprinkled in here. Dalton at 61. 51, 60 down toward LaGrange right now. What the wear forecast calls for either a light jacket or just the long sleeves. Temperatures will heat up to around 68 for an afternoon high temperature, so approaching that 70-degree mark, again with the possibility for an isolated shower or two. We'll give it a low threat, 20 to 30% chance. That's all we'll muster up with that. The heavier rain won't get in here until later on tonight. You can see that now just entering into western portions of Mississippi. It's all headed in our direction, so we're expecting that heavy rain to be around the area really through the overnight going into Saturday morning is where you're going to find that. Severe weather threat exists down to the south and west of us today. That yellow area from eastern Texas all the way into Alabama shows a level 2 threat or a slight risk for severe weather. We have the level 1 threat over us. That'll be for tonight as thunderstorms roll into the area. 1 or 2 of those thunderstorms could pack winds up to about 58 miles per hour. We're not looking at widespread severe weather at all. Notice it shifts to a yellow area, Atlanta southward on Saturday. I think that'll be for the wee hours of the morning. That's where we'll see some of those thunderstorms begin to roll through. Now, the major threat with this will be the heavy rain. There could be some gusty winds associated with it, some damaging winds. Again, if they get up to about 58 miles per hour. Low threat for those strong winds, and also a very low threat when it comes to tornado threat, okay? Very low threat for that. We're looking at the flooding potential. Flood watch will take effect tonight at 7 o'clock and will last through 1 a.m. on Sunday morning. Anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of additional rainfall is certainly possible throughout our area. And again, that heavy threat comes in here later on tonight. Look at the time above my head. This is after about 5 or 6 o'clock. That steady rain comes in here. We'll be with us through the wee hours of the morning on Saturday, and then things will start to dry out by Saturday afternoon. Crash?
All right, Jesse, appreciate that. We're going to go right back up top to the Sky Tracker now. Johns Creek, it is a red alert as that intersection basically closed. You can't cross north, south, east, or west right here on Medlock Bridge, Highway 141 at State Bridge Road. So Johns Creek, you're going to need some alternates. Let's roll to the maps quickly and get you around this thing because, like I said, it's bothering the entire intersection. It's not just a couple of lanes that are closed. There you go. And obviously, delays are building quickly. Do yourself a favor. You can use Abbott's Bridge, basically runs east and westbound. Peachtree Industrial Boulevard runs north and south. Avoid the area, Johns Creek, of Medlock Bridge at State Bridge. Use those 2 alternates. That'll put you around it with little to no trouble. Hey, it's been no big deal on 75 southbound. That wreck well off to the right at Delk Road. They're still cleaning it up, but you guys have done a great job getting through Marietta. No alternates needed. Just hang in there. Cheryl?
Crash, thank you. 6:54 now. New this morning, a $66 billion budget from the Georgia House is now headed to the Senate for some more debate. It includes $2,500 raises for public school teachers and a 4% bump for state and university employees. State law enforcement officers and child welfare workers would get an additional $3,000. Judges would also get a pay raise. There is a need for more prosecutors, so the proposal also includes more money for assistant DA salaries. This morning, the Fulton County Board of Ethics is passing 2 complaints against DA Fani Willis to the state board. A Fulton County resident and a founder of an investigative blog filed those complaints. The board was supposed to take them up Thursday, but decided it does not have jurisdiction since the DA prosecutes on behalf of the state. The complaints stem from Willis's relationship with Nathan Wade, a special prosecutor she hired for the 2020 election interference case.
Today is local nurses are hoping to bring awareness to some big issues with a protest. It is happening at the Joseph Maxwell Cleveland Atlanta VA Medical Center this afternoon. They say they're concerned about patient safety, ongoing staffing shortages, poor security measures, and a lack of accountability with leadership. Back in January, a veteran was shot and killed inside the hospital after police say he pulled a knife and lunged at another person. Nurses say that tragedy could have been prevented with proper security. That protest is set for noon. This morning, a $5 billion project in our state is now on hold. Since 2022, we've been telling you about the factory plan from Morgan County from electric vehicle maker Rivian. The company says right now it's shifting production of its electric SUV to Illinois to save money. It is a blow to this massive project here, which was previously pushed back because of some legal challenges. Rivian promised to employ 7,500 people. The company says the Georgia plant still remains a big part of its production strategy. You're probably scrolling on TikTok this morning when multitasking and watching us on your screen, but the popular app could be going away. On Thursday, a House committee voted to advance a bill that could ban the China-linked social media platform from all U.S. devices. The measure could soon go for a full House vote.
Right now, neighbors in parts of Atlanta say they are getting results after an 11 Live story about flooding issues. Wayne Pittman showed us major flooding in his backyard and inside his home from this week's rain. After our story, crews cleared a storm drain across the street. It comes as Pittman and some of his West Side neighbors are filing lawsuits against the city for water damage over the years. A city spokesperson has said that they can't comment on pending litigation, but detailed ongoing projects to improve the storm water system.
You may have seen this bus rolling through Cobb County. It is a self-driving shuttle for public transit. Right now, the Hopper is in a pilot program with more than 4,000 riders and counting. The electric vehicle rolled out last July, and it follows a virtual track that operators program. The shuttle follows 2 routes around Cumberland, one to the Galleria Office Park and another to the Battery. Great for Braves fans, Chesley.
Absolutely. Hey, by noon today, we're going to be under mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures right around 65 degrees. We're going to see the temperatures warm up to the 60s, upper 60s, right around 68 degrees. There could be an isolated shower around or two. Southeast wind about 14 miles per hour. By 6 o'clock, expect that rain to start to push in, and will get heavy through the overnight and will last or linger into Saturday morning. Flood watch in effect tonight through Sunday morning.
It is still a red alert in Johns Creek with the intersection shut down. A live look from the Sky Tracker 141 Medlock Bridge at State Bridge. Do yourself a favor, Abbott's Bridge or Peachtree Industrial Boulevard as alternates.
Happening on Sunday, the Atlanta Community Food Bank's 40th annual Hunger Walk Run to raise money to fight food insecurity in Atlanta. The in-person portion of the event will be at the bins at the Home Depot backyard. Our team will be there. Come out, have some fun, get your walk on, make it a full family event. You know, get some steps in and fight food insecurity here in Atlanta.
Let's do it together.
Yeah, speaking of fight, special guest out there.
Layla Ali. Yeah.
She doesn't fight anymore, though. She's a lover, not a fighter. You know,
All peace now. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great weekend. See you on Monday.